In this lesson, we will use Home Loan Workbook Video 7 and learn how to protect or to lock certain cells so that we don't have any unintentional changes made, especially when we have a lot of formulas created. The first step is for you to open up Home Loan Workbook Video 7 and then rename that workbook to Home Loan Workbook Video 8 Protected. For a workbook to be protected and certain cells locked, there must be two features enabled. One is locking the cells and the other is protecting the entire worksheet. Let's take a look at an example of how the cells are currently in a locked format. If I were to right click on any of these cells, click Format Cells, and then come over to the Protection tab, notice that by default the cells are locked. Now we know from having done our work all year long that we have access to all those cells. They are locked, but we're able to make changes. And the reason we are able to make changes is because the entire worksheet is not protected. Let's take a look at what happens when we have both locked cells and a protected worksheet. So the cells are currently locked. Click on Review and notice I have the option to Protect Sheet. If I click Protect Sheet, I will accept these defaults. Will allow a user to select locked cells and to select unlocked cells. Notice that I could give it a password. At this point, I'm going to choose not to. Don't want to forget the password. I do want to be able to easily get back into my worksheet. However, if you wanted to keep other people from changing anything in your worksheet, you could give it a password at this point. I'll click OK. Now notice what happens if I go in here and try to change some of these cells. As soon as I click, the warning comes up telling me that it's a protected sheet. What if I try to change this formula? Well, that's a problem also. Won't let me do it. However, notice that we do want to change the amount borrowed, the interest rate, and the mortgage period. These three variables is something that we do want to change frequently. But if I try to change it to a different loan, I'm unable to do so. So what we will do is learn how to lock the worksheet, but then have certain cells unlocked. And that will be the next step. Also notice that when we are in the protected mode, that there are certain features that are not available to us. If I click back on the Home tab up on the main menu, notice that a lot of the options are ghosted, meaning that we do not have access to them because we cannot perform those functions on any of these cells. Let's go through the steps to unlock these three cells, B4, B5, and B6, and then protect the entire worksheet. Let's make sure that the sheet is back in the unprotect mode. So if you were following along previously, you click on Review here on the main menu, and then we had protected the sheet, but now let's click Unprotect. And now we can go in and select just these cells, right click, Format Cells, Protection tab, Unlock, click OK. Let's go back to Review. Now protect the sheet. Same defaults. Password if you choose. Click OK. Let's see if we can make changes to just these three cells. How about if we have a $400,000 loan? Yep, 5% for 15 years. Everything is working properly. What if I try to change my monthly payment formula? I'm not allowed to. What if I come into my amortization table? Am I able to change anything there? No. So we have a protected worksheet, but we are allowed to make changes to these three variables. I will now click Save, and so that will conclude Video 8, how to unlock certain cells within a protected worksheet. and don't forget to save.